Hello everyone, you're welcome to Style 411, your fashion, lifestyle, style and beauty TV show. Today's episode is going to be an amazing one because we're going to be discussing the business of fashion, and I have two amazing guests coming on the show. But before I progress, I'd like to share with you the style statement of the day. And that is, style is something each one of us already has. All we need to do is find it. We'll go on a short break, and when we get back, I'll be introducing my guests. So on Style 411 today, we have two incredible guests. I have the president of Fashion Designers of Nigeria, Kola Kuddus, who's also a designer on the show. Welcome, Kola.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you for coming. Then I have the head publicist of Morsi PR on the show, Moriam Musa. Thank you for coming, Moriam.
You're welcome.
So before we continue, we have a tradition on this show, and that is our glam cam, so that we can capture all the fabulousities that you guys brought on the show. So I'll start with Mr. Kola. Please step into our glam cam. So Moriam, let's catch a glimpse of all, exactly, of all this sexiness. Let's Today, I would like us to talk about the business of fashion. Both of you are heavily involved in the fashion industry of Nigeria. You being a designer, having your own eponymous fashion brand called Kola Kuddus, and then being the president of Fashion Designers of Nigeria, and you being a fashion publicist. First of all, let me start with you, Kola. Tell us, I know that having a fashion brand in Nigeria is not easy, but tell us quickly, how has it been for you? How it started from time it started till now? How has it been? And also being the president of Fashion Designers of Nigeria, how is it?
So thanks for having me once again.
Okay.
The fashion industry is one industry I'm most passionate about. And I found out that I'm not just passionate about making clothes or creating clothes. So I found out that the industry as a whole is what I'm passionate about. And that's why in my years of being in the business, I've always been pushing other designers to get better, to leverage our strength and to make things happen. And that's one of the reasons why I had to involve myself into being part of the association and becoming the president of the association. So it's not been an easy journey, but everything in Nigeria has a way it works out. Right. And I believe in Nigeria. I believe in the fashion industry because of the huge potential it has. And it's not been easy, but we've been pushing it.
Right. So Moriam, being a fashion publicist in Nigeria and having one of the most notable PR firms in Nigeria, how has that been?
Well, initially it wasn't easy. I must tell you that. I started out as a fashion reporter, and while in
fashion reporter with what?
With City People at the time.
Okay.
And I realized that the message was not taken properly to the end consumer from the designers.
Right.
It was not interpreted properly. People would read about designers and probably not understand what they were talking about, the type of designers, the kind of clothes they made, who they catered to and the likes. So I decided to start like the first fashion PR agency, I would say, because before then I didn't know, I knew of PR agencies, I knew of advert agencies, but I never knew anyone that would say, okay, this is a fashion publicist, this is all the person does to promote designers, to promote people in the industry at large. Just not just designers though, the makeup artists, the models, those lifestyle involved, yes, in the fashion, in the lifestyle industry. So, like I said, it wasn't easy at first. People didn't understand what I was all about. But we knew what we wanted, we knew where we were going to, and we started small, but we had a big dream in front of us. And so far, so good. Years down the line, people have come to understand, accept, and know how to work with us. And I'll say it has been very interesting. It was not as easy as I thought, because I spent enough time writing about fashion. it wasn't as easy as I thought, but yeah, we're still on it, and it's very exciting. It's very exciting.
Okay, so now this question is for both of you, but I'll start with Kola. What would you say are the major challenges of doing business fashion-wise in Nigeria?
So I would say the industry is not structured.
Right.
And you know, for every industry that doesn't have a structure, there's going to be a lot of calamities here and there. And talking about not having proper regulations in the industry. So the industry is not regulated. You don't actually have anybody, as in like a Nigerian Fashion Council, that's regulating what is happening in the industry. Okay. So you just find out that everybody is just doing the way they like, how they want it, the way they understand it. You know, if there was a case, because, and this is why I keep saying to people, FADAN is just Fashion Designers Association of Nigeria.
So it's just an association,
it's just
but it's not a governing council.
It's not a governing council. It's not a regulatory body.
Right.
Except it becomes a regulatory body. And that means it has to be enshrined in the Constitution of Nigeria. And with that, what we'll be clamoring for will be, how does the government protect and promote the fashion industry? So I'll give you an example. You have things coming in from all over the world, all sorts of clothing. Right. What's the government doing to protect the industry?
Right.
So I'll give you an example. Look at BFC, British Fashion Council. They are amongst the people that allow the government to give visas to people. Why? They recognize the countries that buy the most from UK. So they will tell you, you have to give these people more visa so they can buy from us.
Right.
Do you understand? So now, if you are protecting the industry and you are putting policies in place, so I'll give you an example of policies that can be in place. How do you promote a young fashion industry? You put increased import duties on finished products.
Okay.
So when you have people bringing in finished product into the country, increase import duties, and people bringing in raw materials for the industry, you reduce the import duties on those kind of fabrics. Look at what happened in the case of rice, the ban on rice. Do you know how much revenue was made and generated internally from people producing rice? So you just look at it and they say, oh, you know what? We're going to put a ban, even if it's for a year or 2 years, on imported clothing, and everything we have to do has to be local. Everybody's buying locally made. Do you know what it means?
Artisans are being supported.
Yes, all the artisans, everybody is going to be
balling, literally.
Engrossed
the economy is
with
going to
loads
grow,
of work.
literally. Yeah.
So the government needs to start thinking about policies. So it's not just about the designers. Yes, the designers can come, the association can come and say, we need to do this. How do we get these things enshrined into the Constitution? And the government start protecting the industry, promoting the industry. So I'll give you another example. So you have University of Agriculture, University of Technology. It's high time we have University of Fashion Nigeria.
A fashion technology school or something.
Yeah. So we need to have more fashion universities, not just in Lagos, across board, where you have proper curriculums, up-to-date curriculums. So there was a time UNIDO came to Nigeria, they did a survey. UNIDO is a part of UNO. They did a survey on Nigerian fashion industry using Lagos and Abuja. They went to Yaba Tech, College of Tech, which is one of our prestigious fashion universities. And they checked our curriculum and it was outdated. So you can imagine in 2020 using
a
syllabus of 1982.
1982, I wasn't going to say 1990.
In 2020. So there's no way you can be at par with the world.
Right.
Do you understand? So there's a lot of gap in the industry that has to be filled. And ordinarily, you cannot fill it as an individual. And that's why a lot of us have been clamoring for, we need the regulatory system, we need to be a part of the governing council. Then from there, it can now start coming down, because now you have a regulatory system, you have people coordinating, not just anybody setting up anything. For you to set up, you have to follow this procedure. Then we need to do partnership with Standard Organization of Nigeria. So there has to be standards to whatever you're producing.
Right.
And that way, everybody can keep up. And we start looking at not just producing for internal purpose, we need to start looking at export purpose as well.
Oh my
so
goodness.
There's a whole lot.
Sounds like a lot. Sounds like a lot.
To
because
be
we are
done.
talking about Fashion University of Nigeria. I was just thinking to myself, we still have a gap with the even proper schools. How much more fashion universities? But I mean, then again, like you said, that's just one of the many problems.
I mean, it started already, and that's why I said you already have University of Agriculture.
Moriam, from your own perspective, what would you say are the challenges of doing or having a fashion business in Nigeria? Because you manage fashion businesses, so obviously, you know, from your own angle, you know, interacting with your clients, you obviously know, and obviously be faced with like some challenges. So, what would you say are the challenges?
Well, I'll agree with Mr. Kola in terms of structure. Before now, we didn't have any proper structure in the fashion industry. Like you rightly said as well, people just went into the trade. People are not really taking seriously going to the trade. Don't forget, before this time, a lot of small designers were having small pockets of shops around Lagos, and people stand around them in the name of learn work. Yeah, so they were never taken seriously. But now you see designers owning mansions and small islands in the Western world, and you're like, okay, I can actually achieve that. Now coming back home, we have a lot of young designers wanting to be like the big names you have in the industry without even doing the time. So you have that as a major challenge. Even those of them that are similarly structured, they also want to be associated with those big names, but they do not have the
discipline.
They don't have it.
Okay.
So when they come to you, they come to you with bells and whistles. They want
to you, you mean to a publicist?
Yes.
Okay.
They say they want this, they want that, they want to be here, they want to be there, but they don't even have a website. They don't even have a Facebook page. They are not present on any platform of social media. They do not have a proper factory. They do not have a proper system running, but they want to do the magic. And they
want you as a publicist to perform that magic for them.
So you try to explain these things to them that, look, it's baby steps to get to the promised land. And because they have been doing this thing over and over again through the years with their friends and their families, they tend not to listen to the publicist. And forgetting that the publicist is the one who has a perspective, has an area view of what it is that your brand can bring forth, what it is that your brand can accomplish, even beyond your own scope. So you find people saying, oh, this have been doing it, but you've not gotten the result, the desired result. Or they'll tell you, oh, my sister said, my brother said, my husband said, and you find yourself,
oh, my friend has done this.
Yes, and your friend, probably you're running a prêt-à-porter type of business, and your friend is running a couture line, or your neighbor, and then you're comparing notes. One has it ready to wear, the other, there are different aspects of fashion, and we are doing that.
One size fits all.
We are all the same. So those are some of the challenges we are faced with, and with education and information, things are beginning to get better. Initially, it was a case of you had to talk and preach the gospel, but now because we have structures in place. So we start with the consult system first, whereby we understand and feel the pulse of the brand. Then it's easier for the designer to open up. And then we now say, okay, this is where your problem lies. This is where you want to get to. And this is how we can achieve results. So really, it's the structure. Structuring, that's one of the major challenges.
So what can be done? From your own perspective as a publicist, what can be done to make things better? To make the fashion business in Nigeria much, much better than the stories that we have circulating now, because there's so much that a lot of people encounter, so many challenges here. There's the Nigerian factor, obviously, and I always feel like Nigerians are just wired differently, to be honest, because sometimes even if you want to implement things that you've seen in most developed nations, or if you want to implement it here, Nigerians are just wired differently. That's my own opinion, but then again, what do you think can be done? What can be done differently?
First and foremost, our fashion promoters need to be more inclusive. We are more than 5 designers in Nigeria, believe you me. When you attend fashion weeks, it's for you to see new talents, for you to see new designs and creatives being paraded. But here you keep seeing the same names, the same brands over and over and over again. It's like you just can't get beyond that. You can't go beyond that. And it's very discouraging to the other ones coming up.
Right.
And when they are even trying to come up, they want to be there from day one.
Right.
They don't know that they have to do
earn
the
their
time.
stripes.
Yeah, so the promoters need to encourage more. All those, one or two of them are beginning to do that, and I applaud them, you know, with my full chest to say, to say the least. I applaud them because we are really talented. You cannot imagine the kind of things, from the clothes to the shoes and the bags. You'll be amazed at what we are churning out, not just from Lagos, from Port Harcourt, from Calabar, from Benin City. It's amazing.
Right.
But they need to get that platform.
So, Kola, quickly tell us what can be done differently to make things better.
So I would start by saying I clamor for education.
Right.
Education is very key. So when I mean education, I mean both business education and fashion education. Because, you know, it's one thing to understand fashion and it's another thing to understand business. So when Miriam was talking about structure, because you found out that a lot of creatives, especially fashion designers, either you're making clothes, shoemaking, accessories, even makeup artists, don't understand business structures. And there's no way you want to do a business without having proper structures in place. So if you don't know it, there's no way you can grow it. So another thing I'm going to talk about is access to market and access to funds. So right now, as a business, doing business in Nigeria is a very daunting challenge, especially as small businesses. So as small businesses, you don't have access to finance. So if you go to your bank is telling you you need a collateral. Where's the young designer going to get a collateral from? You know?
Yeah, that's
and if
true.
you don't have collateral, there's no way you want to grow your business organically for 17 years. You want to move.
Yeah.
No.
So you need funding. And when I talk about funding, I'm talking about single-digit funding, long-term funding. So you don't give people 1 year loan at 27% to pay in a very short period of time. For me, it's called
It's like they're going to be working to pay the loan.
it's called mismatch, because most times you find out that you're using a short-term loan to do long-term projects. So there's no way you can actually, but if you are giving people long-term loan, single digits, 4 years, 5 years, you have enough time to buy enough capital, equipment, and you can pay over time. So if you have access to market, access to funds, and the government is ready to structure, put regulations in place, put policies in place to protect and promote the industry, then a lot of this would get out of the way and the industry will be one of the top industries in Nigeria.
Wow, that's a lot, but I mean, hopefully we'll get there. When we come back, I'll be playing some games with Kola and Moriam, and I'll try and find out some deep secrets from them. Don't go anywhere. So, like I said before, we're going to be playing some games, and please, I want you guys to answer with your full chest. Now, this game is called Never Have I Ever, and that's because I just want to know some deep secrets from the both of you. So if you have, you just turn the paddle to I have, and you have never. But remember, God is watching. So that's for you, and Moriam, here, that's yours. Okay? So, are you ready? Good. No worries, not anything. You won't go to prison.
You go permanently up.
Exactly. You won't go to prison. Don't worry, you're good. But no, just some light-hearted questions. Let's just find out. So, never have I ever gotten into a fight with a client. And by fight, I mean verbal or fist fight with a client. You guys are lying.
That's what I'm saying in business. Fist fight?
You're not gotten into a verbal fist fight?
I've never.
Okay.
I was angry, but not.
Okay. Never have I ever declined working with a celebrity or a client. Yeah, what's the gist? Who was that celebrity that you declined working with? That okay, let's not mention her name, so let's not expose. But then again, why?
So I think apparently it's not even the because of the celebrity. It was because of the stylist that usually pulls for them, and I think one of the reasons was they usually pull from us. We don't get credit. We don't even get to see the pictures.
Oh wow!
So I mean, it's the only reason why you are pulling from us, and we decide. Yes, exactly, and we're not getting pictures. We're not getting credit. Okay. So there's no essence.
Makes sense. Moriam.
I'm a fashion publicist. PR, not PA. So when you expect me, because you're a celeb and you have this
self-entitled
that I should carry your bag, I need to call you every day, I need to report to your house every day. No.
Okay. This one is more for Mr. Kola, but anyways, Moriam, you're still a PR person, so inspiration comes every day. Never have I ever copied or been inspired by another designer's work, both locally and international.
So I have. I believe I get inspirations from even other people's work, and I don't think there's a
So
sin.
is it copied or been inspired?
Inspired.
Okay, good. Local or international?
Both.
Okay, good. Good.
So I get inspiration from not even big designers, funny enough. So I get most inspiration from women's wear brand.
Interesting.
For me.
Interesting.
So both local, international. And usually what I do is I have a couple of illustrators I work with.
Okay.
So once I give you like a brief of what I want, and I'm telling you, I like this, I usually like to work with more than one illustrator. So even at the end of the day, once they give me their works on, okay, this is what they've been able to come up with, I retweak to my own personal philosophy.
Right.
And most times what I hear is the illustrators are not usually happy because they feel I don't use their work. And I'm like, okay, I took your sleeve, I took your body, and I put my own concept.
Okay.
So I get inspiration from everybody, and I'm able to tweak it to my own.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's nice. Some people will not tell the truth, Sha, but thank you for being honest. Okay, next question. Never have I ever been sexually attracted to a customer or a client. Moriam, you're lying.
Never.
Mr. Kola,
There's a very thick line.
I do menswear. I do menswear.
Okay.
I do menswear.
Oh, yeah, right. It's very easy.
So maybe if I was doing
like this.
yes, it would have been.
Moriam,
I would keep
we
it.
will talk behind the camera. Okay. Next question. Never have I ever failed to meet a client or a customer's deadline.
I have.
Because, well, you might
Yeah, but
right?
Yes.
starting up though.
Maybe you're starting.
When I was starting up, I was really bad. I won't lie. It was really bad because I didn't really understand the structure processes.
and handling
but right
customers.
now, we're like the best.
Ooh, I like that. You have to sell yourself. Moriam,
Well, in my own case, really not to any fault of mine. You know, having to work with the various media houses and sending press releases to them. You're expecting to come out a certain time, they'll tell you, oh, sorry, somebody died, they took a obituary page, or Glow placed adverts, or, you know, so
yeah,
it happens.
Yeah. Okay, I understand that. All right, guys, thank you so much for coming
You're
on the show. I
welcome.
really appreciate you guys.
Thanks for having us.
And
You're welcome.
we'll take a quick break, and when we get back, Mr. Kola Kuddus will be sharing with us 5 411 tips. Don't go anywhere.
Hi, my name is Yusuf Kolawole Kuddus, Creative Director of Kola Kuddus Couture. Here are my style 411 tips. Number 1, always wear a brown shoe with every pastel color you wear. Number 2, never wear a lace-up shoe with your traditional wear. Number 3, black suits everybody. Number 4, always wear a matching cap with a shoe once wearing your native. I hope this has been helpful.
That was an amazing episode with Kola Kuddus and Moriam Musa. I hope you learned 1 or 2 things, or probably even a lot of things. And of course, Kola shared with us 411 fashion tips. And that's it for this episode. We had fun. I hope you had too. I'll see you next time on Style 411. Don't forget to stick with us, and don't forget to be stylish. Bye.